and people don't believe. I'm shocked.
No, they don't.
However, I developed a motto a long time ago. In order to be successful, you have to have God and a made-up mind. My mind has been made up a long time. I'm here today to pay tribute to a friend. He hasn't been gone long, maybe 6 weeks. And it's still difficult to talk about. But the Lord said in Isaiah 25:1, O Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name. For in perfect faithfulness you have done marvelous things, things planned long ago. Ray, there's no need to go through all of the things and all of the talents he had. We know that he was a multi-talented man, and he exercised those talents that God gave him. And one of the things about that is that he was a humble man. You know, you never saw Ray going around bragging about what he could do or anything like that. He just did it. And I have a poem here and a little story that will define Ray. This poem, entitled by Marianne Williamson, says, A Return to Love. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates us. Ray chose to teach. Out of all the talents that he chose to teach. And Ray and I taught together almost 30 years. In fact, I was thinking about it. I said his first child and my second child, Angela, were both in the same grade. And his baby, Brittany and Rose, they were also in the same grade. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of things in common. We almost always taught the same grade level. And if he didn't come by my room, or I didn't go by his room, or we didn't see each other, you know, we would check on each other. And it was always a good thing. It was nothing to see Ray truck parked at my house and me and my house coat or whatever I had on, because we were just that good a friend, you know. And as I said, he'd call up and say, Doc, come on outside. That was his nickname for me. And I doubt seriously Ray called me Louisa anytime. Never, ever Louisa. It was always Doc. And so that was his name for me. I found a poem, not a poem, a little story called The Cookie Thief. And what this is going to do is define character. Character is who you really are. Legacy, as the word was talked about, means what you leave to your loved ones and what you leave to your community, what best defines you as a person. You can have any talent, all of the things that God gave you, but what was your mark on the world? What was Ray's mark on Augusta? We're all sitting here. We all know the things that he did well. and we will not forget them. We're missing him today, right in here, right now, because he would either play the piano, he would have come up, he would have fixed something, he would have done something. You cannot replace a Garland Ray Collier. And I'm going to read this, and this might seem out of kilter, out of place, but I wanted to read this poem. It's called The Cookie Thief. A woman was waiting at an airport one night with several long hours before her flight. She hunted for a book in the airport shop, bought a bag of cookies, and found a place to drop. She was engrossed in her book, but happened to see that the man beside her, as bold as could be, grabbed a cookie or two from the bag between, which she tried to ignore to avoid a scene. She read, munched cookies, and watched the clock as the gusty cookie thief diminished her stock. She was getting more irritated as the minutes ticked by, thinking, if I wasn't so nice, I'd blacken his eye. With each cookie she took, he took one too. When only one was left, she wondered what he'd do. With a smile on his face and a nervous laugh, he took the last cookie and broke it in half. He offered her half as he ate the other. She snatched it from him and thought, oh, brother, this guy had some nerve, and he's also rude. Why, he didn't even show any gratitude. She had never known she had been so galled, and sighed with relief when her flight was called. She gathered her belongings and headed for the gate, refusing to look back at the thieving ingrate. She boarded the plane and sank in her seat, then sought her book, which was almost complete. As she reached in her bag, she gasped with surprise. There was her bag of cookies in front of her eyes. If mine are here, she moaned with despair, then the others were his, and he tried to share. Too late to apologize, she realized with grief that she was the rude one, the ingrate, the thief. And I thought about character. Your character defines you. Ray's character defined him. All these accolades, all of these things he did are great. But what is most important in the sight of God is that you give unselfishly, and you do for others that you would want them to do unto you. And I'm going to sit down. There's nothing more that I can say about Ray. I love Ray. We love Ray. He did a lot of good things. He'll never be forgotten. Thank you.